right, guys. So I am back. We are live again. And this will be part 2 of Chill and Chat number 80 with Steps Gaming. Hopefully, you guys can hear me now. I was just getting a lot of people in the chat saying we were frozen, we were static, you couldn't hear us.
Hello, arcade gamers.
Yeah, so we are back.
I just want to
And
specify this isn't an arcade behind me in the box.
and I
It's
just
a,
sent Rexer a link, so he
it's a
should be
bookshelf.
joining us. But JT Games is here. He says hello again. Mickey Yoon says Biggie D needs to get better internet. Definitely do. I don't know what's going on today. I streamed for 4 hours last night, and I didn't have any issues. So I don't know what's going on today. But all right. So just kind of leaving off, hopefully you guys heard what I said earlier, where basically I was just saying that I don't know what world we live in where we think it's okay to ask for money from a community while also flaunting your new toys, flaunting your new products, $1,000 products. GoFundMe should be reserved for people that are in serious need. And I don't know if we've ever seen anyone ever start a GoFundMe while also have it publicly flaunting new stuff. Have you ever seen that before?
No, it's pretty. It's just really bad. It's a really bad look. Like I got he got the pinball, whatever. He made a bad choice. Maybe he's regretting it. Let's help him. And then now he's like making the most flaunting SSF kit where he's just like, it's the best money I've ever spent. And I'm like,
Yeah, and he comes onto that video with this huge grin, this huge smile. Like, how can he sleep at night? I really don't understand what he thinks he's doing and how he thinks this is going to come across to a general audience. Maybe to his viewers, it's okay. He can get away with this with his viewers. But people that don't watch him or people that don't feed into what he's doing, they're going to totally call him out for this. I think it's rightfully so.
okay, I've got a comment here from Mikey Yoon. Kristen, you could go pimp out your children for GoFundMe. I'm gonna tell you something. I have 2 kids. I don't get any child support. My ex is probably going to jail. Not over that, but over 3 DUIs. I need tires. I finance the tires, and I'm gonna have to work harder to pay off the tires because that's what you got to do.
Yeah, you do what you got to do, and you should never publicly, put your information out there because when you do, people are going to talk about it. People are allowed to discuss these things when you make this public like you did. And
it doesn't matter if it was on Facebook or this or that. My private Facebook, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're still doing it, and it's not okay. It's like you're like, okay, I'm gonna do super chats so I could buy these toys. Now I'm gonna run a GoFundMe.
yeah,
so
and
I
he's
can
going
pay
to
my rent.
use his wife, right? He's going to use her and say, "Oh, she created it and she did it on her Facebook."
They're both
Like
guilty.
you two don't live together and you're not married and you don't share bills.
It's a dual scam.
Yeah.
And I
And
don't care. I mean, if she cries, she cries. She's part of the scam at this point.
right.
He tries to use guilt, and oh, my wife's gonna cry, or it was my wife's fault, or this or that.
And what's next,
You're talking
like,
yourself out of the truth, so
what's
that people
next?
continue to give you fucking money.
Yeah. Well, listen, again, I'm going to state it again for the people that weren't here earlier. The people he convinced to give him money for rent, and she convinced him, you're giving it to them for their arcade and for their ALP 4K. That's what you gave them money for. And as long as you're aware of that, then good for it. But where we left off on a couple things, Biggie. Number one was the money that I saw him getting today, people giving hundreds of dollars. And if you didn't hear me, I hope everybody can hear me okay. No, I feel like it's frozen. It must be, maybe my internet's jacking you guys up.
I'm okay. I can see you. I can hear you. What's happened to Biggie D? You still there? No, they're all frozen. This isn't meant to be the step show, but I guess it is. Who knows? Who knows? Kevin Clausen, Kevgrid. If I'm done with this guy, if he comes on other streams, I'm going to start stepping away from this community. Video premiere live on Papa Brad directly after this video. I set the record straight. 4 children are in that video. Oh, man. Dude. Does Biggie D have a free StreamYard account? Does he? Does he have a free StreamYard account? That's the question. I guess I'm the only one here yet again. Yet again. Have Retro Lizard on. I agree. Retro Lizard should come on. I thought that he did a good job for what I heard of it on my drive home. You know, let me see what Biggie D wants to do. Let me see what Biggie D wants to do. What do you want to do, Biggie D? Oh, Biggie D's here.
Yeah, my internet, man, it's just shoddy tonight. It's off and on all night.
Okay.
So I'm going to be using my mobile internet here tonight to get through this stream.
Okay.
But it'll be more stable than my home internet.
Can we invite Retro Lizard on?
Let me come back. I kept thinking it's my internet, but I did a test and it's not. So let me come back.
Yeah, it's mine.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't want to screw.
I should be fine with my AT&T mobile internet to get through the rest of the show.
Perfect. All right. I'll be right back.
My home internet just sucks right now.
All right. I'll be back.
All right. But yeah, if Retro Lizard wants to come on, I saw him discussing this stuff with, Cornercade to his face in the chat today. So yeah, if he wants to come on, absolutely send him the link.
I'm calling him.
Well, I heard Retro Lizard
Hey,
too
could you call him
shredded
Biggie
him.
D?
I heard he shredded him on. Put your thing on mute. Put your mic on mute,
Facebook.
Steps. So I heard he shredded him about this, and rightfully so. Because again, this is about character. This is about integrity. This is about the type of man that you want to be for your to show your children, to show other
I know.
people.
I was thinking about that today too. It's like this will live on for years, for forever possibly. There'll be a record of this. And it's like, do you really want to set that example and be that person? Right.
And that's because you're always going to find people that are going to do this and going to e-bag and trick people, to thinking this is whatever is money for rent when it's actually for him to buy more arcades and use it to buy ALPs, which is very, very shady. Now, this is the thing. They live, he has his stream and he lives with all his friends in this bubble, right? In this silo. And they all want to tell him, oh, this is good and don't worry about it. But 90% of the people on the outside, and this is for Cornercade, think that it's shameful. Think that you don't have shame. And you're listening to this little silo of people, right? Who are saying it's okay to do this. We want to help you and we're giving you money, and Mystery Encoder's throwing him hundreds and hundreds of dollars when that money could be going to actually people who need it. To think about the kids that could have benefited on Christmas from all the money that he raised, the smiles on kids' faces that Mystery Encoder and those other people that donated could have put on kids' faces, instead of saying you can have my money so you can have an ALP 4K and $20,000 worth of arcade material behind you. That is what they could have done, but instead they give it to a grown man so he can play video games. Okay, yeah. You can ask. Here's the thing. Go tell any random person the story, right? Go up to people and go, hey, I know this community. There's this guy who has just started a GoFundMe. He said it's for his rent for January, but 2 days ago he bought a couple $1,000 worth of pinball, and then he comes on the stream, and is bragging about his pinball, but then a day later he started a GoFundMe to pay his rent when he just spent thousands and thousands the past few weeks on arcades. You tell any rational, sane person that, and then you tell him you gave him money, like Mystery Encoder, go tell him you gave him a couple $100, and they'll be like, what are you, an idiot? That money could have gone to so many better useful causes than somebody who's buying video games as a grown man, right? And then saying he needs rent money, and tell your wife that. Tell your significant other, and they'll tell you one of two things. They'll be like, They'll be like, you know what you could have done with that money instead of giving it to Cornercade, hundreds of dollars, so he can have an ALPK? They'll be like, we could have fixed the car, we could have fixed the dryer, we could have done 100 different things with that money. Or they'll say, Biggie, do you know what we could have done and given that, who we could have given it to, and the kids and the smiles on kids' faces during Christmas time that we could have done with that? Instead, they're giving it to some guy so he can have a digital pinball.
You know, make him earn it. You know, if he's doing it on YouTube and he's entertaining, and, you know, even if you're begging for money on your streams, at least you're working, you're doing something of some value, right? But like to do it through GoFundMe's is just absolutely insane, and it's wrong.
Yeah.
And, you know, GoFundMe's were created, they got in the news recently because this poor lady was dying of cancer and she wanted to make sure her kids could pay for their futures when she was gone. You know, and you're trying to compare that to the Cornercade situation. It's so sad.
And
It's
how does this
really
make
sad.
AtGames look?
Yeah.
Huh? That's true.
So we
They
got
want him
Retro
in the
Lizard.
influencer program, and they've put him in there, and he's been begging to get in the influencer program, and this pressure that all the community puts on these people to be this person with all these games and video games, and look at me, you know, it's not healthy. It is not healthy. It's an addiction, and people are making it worse. You're all making it worse.
Yeah. Hey, Retro
Joel.
Lizard.
What's up, guys?
Thanks for coming. I didn't realize you were on another stream when I called. So
Yeah, I was on with Mensa, and he invited me on when I was watching it earlier, and then we actually switched over and we were watching you guys live for a minute, and then we switched back over. Like we were listening to a lot of stuff that Rexer was saying and shit in the beginning of the stream.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. I
Thanks.
saw
Thanks for
you
inviting
in
me.
the stream earlier. You were telling Cornercade to his face this was wrong in the chat. Tell us a little bit about that. Like, how did that go today when you were doing that?
Look, I'm mad about this. All right, and I'm mad about it because I feel like he's scamming the community, and I don't like people that do that. Like, don't come into the community. I get it if you're having hard times. I get it, right? But he literally just put together that 4K ALP the other day, and then that GoFundMe pops up, and it's like, no, you don't do that, right?
Yeah. My first thought was return it, you know, or sell it. You know, there's options.
There's options. You got options before you do the last resort as a GoFundMe.
He hadn't even opened it yet.
Right. He did the opening live.
Yeah.
And then they posted a GoFundMe. And it's like you could have sent that back and that would have been whatever you needed right there. He's got, when I was live with him, I counted in the background that I could see 11 arcade 1-ups. You could sell 4 or 5 of those and make what you need. Right? Like, you don't need to do that. Right? You don't need to.
And who thinks that he actually has more money than he's letting on? You know, who thinks that he probably has money in the bank somewhere?
He's got I found out a lot about him today, personally, right? And I'm not trying to, you know, tell too much personal stuff about the guy, but he has a child from a previous relationship. Okay? He has child support he has to pay. He's ordered. There's an order out there that he has to pay child support. If you don't have a job, you can't pay your child support because it comes out of your money before taxes come out. And if Katie's got the job, Katie can't pay his child support because that's not how child support works, right? And he can't have any communication with the person he had a kid with, unfortunately. But you got child support, so you're telling me that you quit your job, and you're not going to pay your child support now? And you know what happens if you don't pay child support when it backs up? You go to county. At least in New York State, you go to county. Like, if you back up 6 months, they send you to county for 6 months, and it keeps stacking, right? So, no, he's
making very poor decisions in his life, and people aren't helping him fix those decisions. It's very, very sad. And
I saw this, you know, years ago when he first came into YouTube and he created his channel. I distanced myself from him from the very beginning because I had a really bad feeling, and I just knew his behavior. Like, I didn't get a good feeling from him. It's just like all this kind of just reconfirms exactly how it felt.
I used to say he was too thirsty and he went live too much. And he was like real thirsty to go live, and he was going live a lot. And that's how that base came in. And it's like, I don't believe that all of his subs are organic either. There's no way he's got 8,800 subs in 2 years or a year and a half.
This is the funniest thing out of Retro Lizard and all the people who are listening. I watched about 10 minutes of his stream today, and I think Mystery Encoder is in there ripping on, I think it was Papa Brad, because his sub growth was not real or it wasn't normal. And I'm going, the guy you're giving money to has done the same exact thing that all these other guys are doing. They are promoting and buying promotions in order to inflate their subs. 19K Fox did it. PD7 does it. Cornercade does it. They all done it. Papa Brad did it. Okay, but you're sitting there pointing out to Papa Brad when the person you're on the stream, you're giving money to, has done the same exact thing. It's like lunacy. Like these guys, like, oh my God, Papa Brad, you guys are all doing it, okay? So stop pointing fingers about people doing it. You're all doing it.
I remember when he was early on in his channel, he came on as a special guest. I can't remember whose channel it was or what show it was, but I'll never forget. He came on and he's like, oh yeah, I see there's more viewers now because I'm on stream. And he's like, the only reason people are watching is because I joined. You know, it's like his head is so big, you know.
We did that to Dubs did that too. Like Danny had over like 100 people in his chat like maybe 2 months ago. And it was because Dubs was on. That's why.
Yeah. But he like came into someone else's stream and was like, oh yeah, the only reason people are watching is because I'm here. You know, like who says that to the host of the show, you know, when you're their guest?
So recently I had to pay a couple $100 bill. I needed a couple $100. You know, I wasn't exactly being invited on the Evercadians anymore. So I sold my Evercade. And despite the fact that, you know, I wasn't on that show anymore or whatever, I sold it to Papa Brad because I needed the $200 to pay my bills. And I didn't start a GoFundMe, did I?
No, but that's integrity. You feel good about yourself. You set by example. This is the guy. And I'm surprised that, like Retro Lizard said, he's not paying, you know, he quit his job and maybe he'll go back to court and try and get the child support lowered or whatever he's going to do. But I'm surprised that a man doesn't want to take care of their children as hard as they can and do anything and everything for them. I would give up everything if my child was not being taken care of or I wasn't doing what I needed to take. But that's where it goes to the character, to the selfishness, to the greed, to the addiction where you need help because you want all this crap behind you. And here's one thing.
He's running his channel like he's got like 100,000 subscribers or 1 million subscribers. That's how he's running his channel.
They have to stop this idea that they're going to become some huge YouTuber and be some celebrity. You're never going to be it. You're not going to do it. It's just
even
not
if he
the
is
way
going to be
it
that,
works.
he's not going to get there that way.
It's not that way. No. But here's the one thing I want to say that I don't want to forget because it's so odd. For somebody to say this when they're on live stream, and he says this a lot, and I think he did it today from when I was watching for a little bit. He kept saying, you know, number one, he's like, you know, we paid off the ALP, so that's not, the money's not for that. We paid off the ALP, and then he goes and says, and you got to remember, guys, we bought the ALP for you guys. I mean, you guys, we do this for you guys. You know, this channel and all this stuff I do it for you guys. He says it over and over. He's trying to convince his audience that he's doing it for them when he knows, and everybody knows all the time, you're doing it for you because you, Cornercade, want that attention and you feel like you need to be this superhero arcade person. You have to get over that. It's an illness.
Yeah, it's a very selfish.
You're not doing it for the community. You're doing it for you, Cornercade. You're sick. It's selfish.
The perfect example is when I was on with him today and I told him to shut off his super chats. And he didn't.
Couldn't do it.
He wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. And look how much he got in super chats today.
He got like $500 today or something like that.
He got like 7 or 8.
To be honest, though,
and most of, you know, half of that's going to go to YouTube.
And half of it goes to YouTube.
I swear to God, if a new cab pops up in January or February, we better not see any new cabs from him. If he's still going to stay in YouTube, we better not see anything new from him until the summertime. If we see a new cab next month or February, I'm going live and I'm calling his ass out.
But the rest of the community needs to help him, Retro. They have to be on board with this logical thinking that you have, that the people in this chat have. The people in the community that watch him are enabling that addiction and not helping him. And if that means you got to unsub from him and take it down and say, close his channel down because he needs to get away from YouTube and get away from this stuff. He needs to get away from it and start focusing on what's real in life. That's how you will help him, people. Your
2 months away from YouTube when I lost my job and I got injured because I had to focus on what's most important: family, work, your health. Those things are more important than YouTube. Unless this is your living and you're literally making a living doing it, you can't justify it. And he's pretending that he's this famous YouTuber that makes hundreds of thousands of dollars on YouTube when that is just not reality. And it's the most selfish thing that he's doing. I've never seen anything like this. And I hate that being in this community, I'm even somewhat associated with it. And that's why I had to speak up. I had to say something because it's not typical for me to get into this kind of discussion. But it just really hit me I felt really bad about what happened. I thought it was very sad what I was seeing. And I just want to see him be a better person.
Yeah, I want to go back to Retro Lizard because he's and somebody said it in the weekly news. It's the manipulation factor that you feel when you're watching it. It's manipulating the community, about this, and that is what really is troubling. And it hurts for me to see the audience sit there and donate for this when they don't really know what they're donating for, and they don't really know what's going on behind the scenes, and they don't really know that people have been telling him for months and months, you got to stop. You got $20,000 worth of arcade one-ups behind you. It's just wrong.
And why are we the first people to talk about this? Why is it us that's bringing this up? Where is everyone else? Where are the big home arcade YouTubers to talk about this?
They donated money.
They donated money. You see the list of people?
Who donated money?
They donated money to him instead of giving him a call and saying, listen, we need to have a talk. We need to have a man-to-man talk. John D., you're his buddy. The people who have gone on his show over and over again, you guys are his friends. You got one person, Retro Lizard, who tried to set him right out of everybody that he knows and talks to. That's the friend you need, Cornercade. The friend that's going to say what you need to hear.
I'm pissed about that because about a month ago, I talked to him privately in Discord. Well, not privately. We were in a group thing in one of the Discords, and I was talking to him, and I gave him props, and I told him that I gained a little respect for the guy because out of the year and a half that he was getting shit from everybody, he was just ignoring it and keeping on with the channel, just trying to do what he's doing and all this other shit. And I was like, I give you a lot of respect for that and what you were doing and how you were ignoring that just to push through, just to try to create some kind of positivity. And it's all a fucking lie. It's all a lie. We were going through on Mensa's live just now. We found Katie's Facebook Marketplace, and we're going through it, and they're scamming people on Marketplace. I'm not kidding. There's so many 1 stars starting back in October of this year, going back through 2022 of people. You're not going to leave a review unless you paid for something, right? There's so many 1 stars saying that they never got what they ordered.
This Vessel right here says, laugh out loud. You guys don't know what's going on in his life either. You're all a bunch of losers.
Vessel was in there, and Vessel was getting mad at me, right? Vessel, I understand why you were getting mad at me. He's scamming people, okay? He is scamming people. Listen to us, man. He has a $2,000 Arcade Legends he just unboxed on Wednesday live. It's $2,000. Go to AtGames website. It's the Jurassic Park that did not go on sale until after everybody was in Chicago, right? It went on sale at the end of October. He bought that a month ago, and he had it. He unboxed it, and the next day, he puts up a GoFundMe. He puts up a GoFundMe for $2,000. I'm sorry, man. There's other ways, and he did not need to do that. The only reason why he bought that Legends in the first place is to keep up with the other YouTubers who are covering the AtGames Legends content right now. because it's the only content that they can cover, because nothing is going on in the home arcade community, and they won't cover the third-party companies that are selling things. They're only doing the people and the bigger name companies. They won't go to anything else.
Okay,
Yeah.
P-Dubs right now. He
Sorry.
says, "Oh, please, I donated $50 because I felt bad for the kids." I did. I donated $5 because I felt bad for the kids. I did that on Saturday, and then I woke up this morning and saw his SSF kit video, and it was like that's what triggered me. That I was like, he made a mistake. He bought the damn pinball. AtGames probably not taking it back. He's gonna list the arcade one-ups. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. His family seems nice. Let's send him $5, even though I don't have $5. Okay. I was like, let's just try to send a good message. I even shared the link because I was trying to be helpful. And then that SSF video came out and he was like talking about how it's a great way to spend $400. And I was like, I'm not down with this no more. It's not okay with me. And I'm not doing the stream because I want to punish Cornercade. I'm on the stream because we as a community need to make sure that we're not enabling this behavior and giving away our money so somebody could live a life of doing nothing.
Let's also think about this, right? So Katie got a job, right? He was a manager at Best Buy, probably making $60,000-$70,000, right? They have at least 3 or 4 kids that we know of. I don't really know their ages. I'm assuming the youngest one is like 2 because there was a baby registry thing from 2 years ago that I seen today. But like they got 4 kids. Katie just got a job. They can afford daycare now, right? And a couple of those kids are at least in kindergarten or in an actual public school or in some kind of school. You know, the youngest one can go to daycare, and now you have a 2-income household, but you quit your job so that you can be the same.
He also wants privacy, right? He wants this to be all private. He's like, Katie created this GoFundMe on her personal Facebook. She didn't want to share this with the community. But when, they made it public, that's why we're talking about it. They any privacy they had regarding their financial situation kind of went out the window when they created the GoFundMe, while also being a public YouTuber showing off toys that you're buying. It's like...
Yeah. Biggie, I got to comment on some of these, like this Visel and even P-Dub statement. You guys are enabling this behavior, okay? You could have used that money for something much more better to people who actually needed it more, okay? And when you say, yeah, I did it, I gave them the money, that's great, but you should have prefaced it with, return the AtGames ALP, and then I'll give you money. You got to say, you can't buy a $2,000 pinball and then one day later go ask for rent money.
P-Dubs did tell him that before he bought the table. He said, I don't think this is a good idea for you to buy right now.
Then you tell them to do something, they don't do it, and you say, that's okay, here's money. Here, just take the money anyway. Okay, I bought you. At least just admit you bought him the ALP and you didn't, you're not paying for his rent money. I mean, then why do you got to do it on, just give him the money off to the side if you're his good friend and save the 40% that YouTube takes. I mean, that was just stupid. You guys gave him $700 on Super Chats and now it's only like $400. It could have been $700 if you would have gave it to him in the GoFundMe, but everybody's got to pound their chest and look at me. I'm giving money to Cornercade because I want to prove people like the Rex are wrong who say that it wasn't done right and it shouldn't be done like this and this shouldn't happen. So you guys all go pound your chest and try and prove like people like me and Biggie and say you guys create this drama wrong and we'll give y'all. Go give him your money. I don't care. I just care that it could have been given to kids who need it, to charities that need it at this time of year, to people that are hungry, not for some adult to play digital pinball. And you guys know it. So get out of the chat, P-Dubs. If you're in here sitting here talking about how you're just a nice guy and that you didn't do it for optics, I get it. You told him not to do it, but he did it anyway, and you didn't hold him accountable. Okay? It's all just words if you don't hold him accountable.
Also, just like on Vessel's comment, he was talking about how should be private. If he really was in need and he wanted it to be private, he would have gone through like a government, assistance program or a charity where he could have kept it private. He made it public as soon as he made the GoFundMe. And when you do that, people are going to look at everything. They're going to look at the big picture, see what you're spending your money on. They're going to look at where are you scamming people? Is this person? There's a lot of people that use GoFundMe to scam people.
I think P-Dubs had a good heart here, though. But the point of the stream, though, is to stop that from people. We want people to see what's really going on. That's the point, right?
Look at things before you do that, before you donate, right? Like if you see a GoFundMe from somebody on YouTube or anything like that, you know, and you see what they're posting as videos, like live videos and things like that, like put 2 and 2 together.
And I'll tell you why he didn't go with the government assistance program. You know why? He would have had to fill out all the paperwork. He would have had to been honest about his expenses. He would have been honest about everything. And he couldn't do that. Yeah. He wouldn't have qualified. No. The only reason he went with the GoFundMe is because he doesn't have to answer. Well, he's going to answer. And that's why I had this show. And for anyone that's saying keep your mouth shut, to stay out of it, I couldn't sleep at night being in this community and not speaking up. You know, who am I as a person?
Right. You're right. And so many people who are in worse off situations who don't have $20,000 worth of arcade one-ups behind them, you know, with new logos and equipment. And there's so many people that need that money besides somebody who wants to play digital pinball. And then to say the rent is for January and then go, oh no, I meant December. Then go to Dollar Loan Center and get, you know, $1,000 since you said you could pay it back in a couple weeks because it was all, we're all going to work. There are so many better methods than to take other people's money, right, in order to solve the problems that you caused yourself. And you're not even in a horrible situation yet. You're not getting evicted. It's not like, hey, we've missed 3 months rent and we're getting evicted. You know, apparently you guys say your kids can eat and everything's fine. But so why are we doing this?
He's getting the community to pay for his one-up. You know, it's a situation where they're taking advantage of the community, especially at the holiday season, knowing that, you know, if they put something out there, people will donate. You know, people will donate whether they care or not. You know, John Deed might have donated just because he's seen a GoFundMe and he knows the guy, hey, here's $50, call it a day, walk away, right? It's just people do that. You know, people support other people in those ways, but
I think John D took his name off the list. I don't know if you guys have gone to the GoFundMe recently, but I haven't seen John's name since yesterday.
Well, last night they actually paused the GoFundMe for about a good hour.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was pause for about an hour, so I thought it was all done, and then all of a sudden at like 11 o'clock my time, I'm on East Coast, it was back up and running again. And then I seen that SSF video this morning, and then I got a message from one of our friends that he was live this afternoon. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. He's live? Like, he actually had the balls to go live today?
Yeah.
Well, right? I think he saw my thumbnail and he knew what was coming. He wanted to get a head start on it and get his information out there. And I took some notes. I listened, and none of it made any sense. You know, like saying that Katie created it. She did it on her personal Facebook, but yet you're this public YouTuber that's flaunting all these toys out there. What did they think was going to happen? I really don't understand.
That's a financial decision between a husband and a wife. There's no way that they didn't have a discussion about it before it was done.
Right.
There's no way.
And they're both on the channel.
Even if
she's a public figure just as much as he is on the channel.
Right.
They share it.
Even if she did make the GoFundMe, posted it, and then told him, like, there would still be a discussion there. Like, he's aware of it. Instead, it really felt like he was putting the blame on her. And I know she was in the chat. She's got his back. It's his wife. I get it. But I mean, it's like, it's not right. You know, it's just not right at all. Like, he shouldn't be scamming the community like this.
And Beach Native says we should have him on the show. I would never have him on my show. I don't even want to have any association with him at all. I haven't for a couple years now.
He had his chance to explain himself on his own show with Retro Lizard.
And none of it made sense.
None of that stream today made sense.
If Katie gets paid on the 13th, let's just say she's bi-weekly. If she gets paid on the 13th, she gets paid again on the 27th of this month. And if she's making more money than he did, than he was at Best Buy to support that family on a single income, there's no reason why they need any help. Maybe they'll fall behind a little bit in the rent. They'll be able to make it up in the upcoming month.
And it's not too late for him to clean up some of this and, you know, sell the 4KP and to give some people their money back. You know, that he could still do that, and he should. You know,
if anything, he could take that $700 he got today in community chat, then he could donate it back to the community and say, hey, since you guys did that, I'm going to give away an arcade 1-up brand new, and I'm going to order it from whatever company so it gets shipped to you for this price.
Or give it to a charity, like a GoFundMe for a person that really needs it, like Rexer was saying.
Or and show a receipt, of course, too.
Well, the other point...
Shoot, we should do a fundraiser on this channel just to make up for the money that these people lost.
The other point of, like...
I have no remorse for Mr. Encoder donating $500.
I had a friend buy me a ticket to, like, Billy Joel, right, when I went through the separation. And I got to see Billy Joel. It's really cool. But, like, I asked, do you want the money back or do you want me to pay it forward? And she said pay it forward. So later down the road, I donated money to a charity that gets concerts to people with critical or serious illness, and they get to go see a concert. Because I thought, it's an eye for an eye. A concert. There you go, And when you're in a bad situation, you're supposed to, if something happens and people are nice to you, the karma is to give it back into the universe, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Kevin's saying Mode had a charity today. Donate to that. That would have been a good use of your money.
He did.
Giving it to someone that's begging and, his audience for money when he's spending it on other things that we can publicly see is not the way to do it.
Stupid bad
guy Mike
got fired. He quit. He put in his 2 weeks notice and then they fired him. That's what the story is. That's what they said the story.
And he claimed he didn't get his PTO in the GoFundMe, and then today live he said he did get his PTO.
Which is weird because they're not required to give him the PTO.
Did he put his 2 weeks notice in because he got a new job?
Like I said, this is a multi-billion-dollar company who has fired and laid off and taken notices from hundreds of thousands of employees. Okay, the company knows what they're doing and what their rules are for PTO, for sick pay. If you don't know them, Cornercade, that's on you. Okay, and they're not going to gyp you. They're not going to say, "Oh, Cornercade, you're the only employee I'm going to gyp and screw."
Here's what Best Buy's policy is on personal time off, is what they call it. It used to be called vacation time. I worked there for 20 years. Vacation time, they'd have to pay you. PTO, they do not. The minute you quit or the minute they lay you off, your PTO, like your personal time off, is gone. It's gone.
Most people, it's sick time they don't pay, and vacation time they do.
So you lose it. It. So whether they told him they were going to give him it or not is inconsequential. The fact of the matter is they don't legally have to give it to him.
Yeah.
They didn't give it to me when they laid me off. They gave me my severance pay.
Right.
But they didn't give me
severance
my
and vacation that you've earned.
But they owe them the 2 weeks, because if you put your 2 weeks notice in, they owe you the 2 weeks.
If they lay you off.
Yeah, if you put in your 2 weeks and you don't and they don't let you finish your 2 weeks,
they need to pay you.
You need to get paid.
He should be thanking God if that story is correct, that he actually got laid off after he put his 2 weeks in, because he can go file for unemployment. Go ahead and file for unemployment now and say you got fired. I guarantee they didn't fire you because they don't want to pay unemployment. They didn't do that. You put in your 2 weeks, and they would never risk having to pay unemployment compensation by firing you after you put in your 2 weeks. It just, none of it makes sense, Katie. I'm sorry.
I guarantee he's still working there. He's He's got that child support. He has to pay that child support unless he's back owed in child support. But I didn't see anything in the system that he was being taken to court for back child support. So he must be current. All right,
I thought he had a new job, and that's why he gave his 2 weeks. That would be the only reason you would give your 2 weeks.
Katie got the job, and then he was going to become the
stay-at-home dad. Okay.
Yeah, which, I don't know their children's circumstances. So, but it in certain circumstances, I can understand why one parent would want to stay home. But if you have a 2-household income and everything's okay with the kids, then you can put one of them in daycare or 2 of them in daycare. I guess
his thought is he could devote more time to YouTube and he could become like some big time YouTuber. And that was his goal.
Not going to happen.
Vessel says the fact is you don't all need to know what the situation is exactly. He doesn't need to explain it all on YouTube, but he did. He explained it all on YouTube.
Yeah. This has all become public information.
And you know what, Vessel? If you're asking for money for people because you say you have a hardship, then you kind of owe it to them to explain them to what the hardship is. If I go start a GoFundMe, I'm not just going to go, donate money to me. You don't need to know my situation. Just give me the money, right? And probably people won't donate if you did do that. You have to put some hardship in front of you for people to feel sorry for you, right? And then it's pretty good that you might want to justify the hardship and make sure it's real, right? Saying you owe rent in January and it's December, it's 5th, is kind of odd to ask for money for when you have a whole couple months to get that money, or a whole month to get that. Saying that you're not getting evicted and you just need rent money for 1 month. Are you 3 months behind? Are you 2 months behind? Did you get an eviction notice? There's so many things wrong with what happened.
anyone who's arguing for the cornercade that what he did was right, you're the minority. No one thinks this is right.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks this is wrong. It just shows really bad character, and it's on the verge of being illegal almost what he's doing. You know, it's like GoFundMe's are not meant for what he's using it for.
Yeah, he does value the arcade more than his family. It's sad, those kids. And he always says, oh, the kids want to go on vacation. They don't need to go on vacation. They like the arcade. Bull crap. Bull crap.
Yeah.
The kids, yeah.
Well, let's kind of wrap this up. Does anybody have anything else they want to say before? You guys are welcome to stick around too.
For the people who missed it, remember the people who missed the beginning of the last stream, I bought a Harley Davidson 2 days ago, and today I started a GoFundMe. The money's not for the Harley Davidson. It's not. It's for my mortgage because I can't afford my mortgage. I already paid the Harley Davidson off.
With the super chat money that they gave you.
I need the money for my mortgage, not for the Harley I just bought 2 days ago.
I thought it was for the jean jacket you needed for that Harley.
Yeah, you could donate to that for that too. Yes, and some boots. You know, I don't.
Geez, think if we were all doing what he did, like how bad it would get.
Yeah. I've always told you guys, and I've proven it with my own actions. I said, when I need money, these are gone. And sure enough, I sold one.
Yeah.
I did what
Jurassic
he should have
Park.
done. I took the money that I needed. I sold Jurassic Park, and I used it to pay my debts or whatever you want to call it, and what I needed it
I
for.
remember when you got Foo
ask
Fighters.
you guys for money. I could have went and begged my community. I really want to keep my Jurassic Park, but I need a few $1,000s. You know, I got to pay the. I'm not going to do that. But that's me. That's my character. I don't want to be selfish like that. You know, I don't want to put that over. You know, playing games over what's right, and other people in this world will do that. And that if that's you, that's fine. You got to look yourself in the mirror every night and go, yeah, I'm a good person. I'm a solid guy. And I did what's right and not what's wrong. So
look, I hope honestly, I hope he learns and actually sells his stuff and makes good and apologizes and focuses on getting his family right. I support that.
That's what I would like to see come from this.
I didn't have, like I said, I didn't have much money, but I gave $5 to show the benefit of the doubt. They abused that benefit of the doubt the very next morning. So for me, I'm like, no, you made multiple bad decisions. You may have bought the SSF kit before, but at the point that you said, okay, I'm going to make this SSF video and talk about how it's a great use of $400 after you're asking for $2,000 for rent, I was just done. I can't, it's not good. It's not a good look to your kids. It's not a good look to your family. I've been in trouble, and at some point, I'm not gonna say I won't ever run a GoFundMe because you never know what the world brings.
Right.
But
that's true.
I sold the Evercade. I got $200 from Papa Brad. I paid the bill I needed to pay.
Yeah, and
you
you've
sold
always
all your
made
other
that
stuff too. You've sold a bunch of your machines.
You've made that
You know?
public, Steps.
Yeah.
Like you've struggled with bills, and you've told us how you've paid them and what you've sold to pay your bills, and that's why people respect you, and that's why I want to be your friend and want to be around you, is because I feel like you're a good person. You're an honorable person.
I just don't
The
want to see this
cornercade,
stuff
you
happen
should
to
distance
people.
yourself from people like that.
Well, I don't want to see this happen to people. That's why I did the stream Friday about the AtGames financing a second time, because I just want people to know they don't need to fall for this FOMO. They don't need to get it. They don't have the means.
Right.
And nothing against AtGames. It's just the financing program sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, if you're going to finance a pinball machine, not saying everybody should do this, but if you have the means to finance and you want a pinball machine, go with the real deal.
Yeah,
Seriously,
I would love to have a real pinball.
It's worth it. It really is worth it. And then what's cool about having a real one is that people trade. So you can trade these around the community all over the states, and you can continue to have a real pinball machine. If you want to go that far with financing something, right? It's just, or just don't finance it. If you feel the need that you have to finance it to own it, don't do it if you don't feel that you need to.
What pins do you have?
People do finance for me, but I don't get financing all the time. A lot of people buy straight up. A lot of people do finance for me too, and it's people that don't have a lot of money, they want to enjoy the hobby too.
What pins do you have, Retro Lizard?
I just got the two. Well, I got a virtual one over there too. So that's the one is a 1979 Flash, and then I got a Mandalorian Pro.
Nice.
And then I got my virtual pinball Jaws that I've had for like 3 years now that I built. Is over there in the corner that I don't really use too much anymore. But if you guys remember, I had a whole room of kiosks because I was collecting kiosks for a long time. And I decided to get rid of the kiosks because my kids were becoming a little bit more into pinball, and selfishly, I wanted a pinball. But I sold all of my kiosks, and I bought 2 pinball machines. I bought one to fix so I can learn how to fix it because I want to open an arcade in Buffalo at some point, and I need to learn how to fix a pinball machine. And then the Mandalorian, I found that for a good price on Pinside, and I went up to Rochester, New York, and I purchased it, and it was awesome. I'm the second owner of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, I would love to have a real pinball. It's just I'm gonna have to get a house first, and obviously have some money in the bank to justify the purchase, and then you got to get money together for repairs because there's probably going to be repairs in the future.
Yeah,
but yeah, big investment.
Hey, hold on. Sorry, before I forget, we're going to wrap it up. I love Weisel. Can you do me a favor, Weisel? Ask Mystery Encoder how that 4K is working on the ALP that you guys said it could handle. And then on top of that, ask him about the VPX too, how that's going. I've been waiting a long time for that VPX on the AtGames. Sorry, just had to say it. I had to make my point.
Right, sure. Come on, man.
I got it. I had to do it. I took a crap load of harassment from Mystery Encoder, from guys like Weisel, who said I was wrong. You're wrong. This can do it. The VBX, and it's going to be awesome. And here we are. I was right again. I just, he wants to talk machines. Let's talk machines. I don't know if you watch. I don't know if you watch Chaotic, but Chaotic does a lot of AtGames streaming, and he's got the 4K, and he has the VPX on it. And he's been going. I sent him my pinball drive so that he can have some games to play with. And he actually has a lot of games working on it. I'd say he's got about a good 50, 60 working on it. But there's no pup hacks. No pup hacks. It's all backlash and D&D. So it's working, but it's there. And there's a little bit of lag on certain tables too. So I don't think I've seen it working. I have. Yeah. I've seen a few tables working, but it's
that powerful enough though.
I think for $1,000, at 1,500 it's a little too pricey, but at 1,000 I think it's worth it. Seeing it at Pinball Expo, I thought it was really cool. It's definitely higher end than the arcade 1-ups we've been buying.
Oh yeah.
And I think it's worth it if you have an apartment or you don't have a lot of room to work with or a lot of money to spend. It's a good way to get into pinball and enjoy it.
If you're looking to get into the pinball world, the virtual pinball world, it's a very, very good machine to buy to get your introduction into it. If you can afford to build one, they're not hard to build, but you're going to be looking at about $1,500 to $2,000 to build a decent one, depending on how big you go. A computer is not cheap these days, and you got to run a computer inside it, plus 3 screens.
Yeah, so, at least $1,000 gaming PC to run it.
Yeah, unless you purchase on your own, but it's the graphic card. You at least want. If you're going to go 4K, you got to go 1080 or 3060. That's what you got to go with. If you're just going to go 1080p, a 1650 will suffice. But you need that GPU to run the 3 screens. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to get a lot of lag.
Games where it's all ready to go. You just turn it on, you can play, you can download your tables. I mean, you are paying a premium to buy those tables. But it is nice to just plug and play. And a lot of us that buy the arcade 1-ups or have over the years, we just like simple and easy. I'm definitely part of that category.
Have you guys ever heard of the Cleveland Software Design? No. So check out Cleveland Software Design. I actually met him when we were all in Cleveland at the Cleveland Gaming Expo. I met him when I was walking around with B. And I've gone to his website and I bought a few things. He's got a lot of plug and play stuff for virtual pinball. But what specifically he has is he makes a little pinball box. It's just like a probably like an 8x8 square box with the plunger and all the controls all ready to go. All you got to do is plug it into a PC and set up your VPX, and then you're playing on your TV. And I think it's like about $400. But if you're looking to get into virtual pinball and you can't afford a big machine, you got a couple $100 to spend. You can buy that, plug it into a PC, and play on your TV in your living room. It's not a bad price.
Yeah, another thing about the AtGames, I think a selling point is that they have the online tournaments. So it builds a community of the AtGames players all, on Facebook and in these tournaments. Papa Brad, he runs a lot of them. And I think that's a fun part of it as well. I know you got into arcade 1-up and the fighting games for the community aspect. I think a lot of people are getting the AtGames for that same reason. When you get the virtual pen, I guess you're playing online. You're playing on the Zen platform, but it's much larger, and how close are you going to be with those people?
Yeah, the pinball tournaments are so much fun. We used to do them every week. MCAP used to do them. It's so much fun, and it doesn't matter what platform. Just any game, any tournament.
Pinball's just fun.
Yeah.
It's just fun, and everybody can play it, even kids. It's just fun.
Yeah. I've always kind of looked at pinball as like unattainable. You know, it's always been something that's been like way overpriced and takes up too much room. But then when AtGames made this, it all of a sudden became attainable, became reasonable for someone to actually get something like this. And I see it taking off. I really do. And I'm really happy with the licenses they brought in and the Zen tables we've been seeing. Like this month, we're getting Fishtails is coming the rest of this month. A couple of their in-house tables, Sorcerer's Lair, Wild West Rampage. Have you guys played any of these?
On older FX, I have.
Yeah.
Especially Fishtails. Fishtails, I played that one on FX3 a few times. I got FX3 on my virtual pinball over there. The paid version, not the rip-off version.
Yeah, so the Fishtails is part of their Pinball Pack 1. It became it was a free table, but it was on this Williams Pinball Pack 1.
Nice.
And
Now, those are all good tables out there. Was a Getaway on there? What else did they have?
Yeah,
They got
Getaway.
all
I
good
got to
tables.
play that at Pinball Hall of Fame.
Oh, well, was I watching Arcades Anonymous the other day? They're coming out with Black Knight 2000 on the next one.
Yeah.
For Williams, that's pretty cool. And I think there's 3 other ones going on it too. I don't know what the other ones are, but Black Knight 2000 caught my eye because I played that table here, so that's a good table.
Yeah, I got to play the Getaway at Pinball Hall of Fame. That is an excellent classic Williams table.
Did it
And
play good?
Junkyard's a lot of fun.
Did it play good? Because when I played those games before they did the mod or the update or whatever, they just like froze. They were slow. It was no bueno.
Yeah, the FX3, FX versions I've played have all played great. Even the Junkyard on my arcade one-up Attack from Mars plays good.
Oh, you're
I
not
enjoy
talking about
playing.
the on the AtGames.
Yeah, I haven't played any of these on the AtGames.
Okay.
Yeah.
Papa Brad says he does all the tournaments for the love of competition. Yeah, anytime you do any sort of gaming competition online, you have to do it for the love because it's way more work than you'll ever see. It's like an 8-hour day for like a couple hour stream, and it's a lot of work. It is.
So Zen had the pinball bites this week, and they had some announcements as well. It looks like they got a new pinball pack coming with some classic Williams tables. Have you guys played any of these?
No.
Like the real thing? Yeah, these, it's going to show here. Black
one I
Knight
have.
2000, they had that at Pinball Hall of Fame, but it wasn't playing. It was down. So I played the Stern version, the newer one.
To play Black Knight 2000, it threw me off because when I first launched the ball and it came out, I didn't realize that the ball would shoot underneath the top deck there, and then I wouldn't see where it would go until it would pop out on top. And I was like, "Oh man!" Like I wasn't expecting it to go all the way up there, and then I had to play up there right away. It was a pretty intense and was a fast table. It was a pretty intense and fast table. So Black Knight 2000 was definitely cool.
Yeah, I wish I would have got to play the original.
White River on Pinball FX or Pinball 3, FX3.
What was it?
White River? Or White
You're talking about what? It's
White
not called
Water?
White River.
Whitewater. That's what I'm thinking of.
Whitewater.
Whitewater, yeah.
Don't diss my Whitewater like that. White River or whatever. Come on.
It'd be cool if they put out a Whirlwind too. Whirlwind's a really good one.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one. And then if you could get the actual topper that has the fan in it for your games, that'd be badass.
That would be really cool too. Yeah.
This is the VR they announced. So they did a teaser for it. Have you guys played any pinball in VR?
I've not tried pinball in VR. I got the MetaQuest 3, and I had ambitions of doing VR racing, but I get really bad motion sickness, and I didn't consider that. And me being a VR racer is never going to happen. But I should try pinball in VR.
If they come up with that box that is like a pinball box for the VR, I know people are working on it. I will definitely get that and try it more. I'm going to try it because I got the Meta Pro, but I don't want to play like, with controllers, I just feel like it would feel a little weird. So if they do that box, they got a box that's supposed to have a plunger and like, I know it's like a third party guy who's doing it, but I would buy it.
Yeah. If you had the actual machine with the plunger, the pinball buttons, and they were all in the place they need to be, you would forget that you're in virtual pinball.
Yep.
Yeah. It would almost feel real.
In my defense, we have a river here in Indianapolis called White River.
Yeah, I knew you were off on that when I first heard it because Whitewater's a huge table. It's one of the
Yeah,
most
it's a good
popular
table.
ones.
I just, I hear White River all the time, so I was thinking White River. So yeah, my bad.
But yeah, so Zen, they're working on a new VR pinball game, and that's what they were teasing there was like you have this little like bar area, you get all your pinball tables, and you can play darts, and you got all these other games you can play. Hopefully, you can all hang out together in there because we'll play the mini golf. We'll play up to 8 people, and it's like we're all together. Like Brooklyn Menace is there, Papa Brad's there. Everyone is hanging out like we were really at a miniature golf course. And just like we're having discussions now, in VR, it's more like you're with the person. And that's what I like about it. And I'm looking forward to this new Zen pinball because if it's like, online where we can all hang out, play pinball together, that'd be awesome.
That'd be really cool. Yeah, like we're all in the same room playing the same table.
Yeah,
really
if we're
cool.
having a tournament, it's like we're really in there together, like at a real tournament.
That would be cool. Yeah.
I'm trying to get on with the golf on Tuesday too after the stream also from Rascal. So
you should. Yeah, you can do teleport. If you do teleport, I get motion sickness also, but normally only when I'm like moving myself around.
Yeah.
But if you do teleport, I don't get sick, so you should use that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't get sick in there, and I'll get sick with anything in there, but not with golf. It's pretty simple.
Is that all you play? Is a mini golf?
And I got the regular golf where you swing the club kind of thing. It's like PGA golf. I got that.
Yeah.
I got maybe one or two other things, but yeah, I don't use it that much. It was given to me as a gift, and I really didn't want it per se, but it's the coolest thing ever. But I just don't have time to use it like I should. I mean,
it's
just too many games. But
well, and it's kind of a process getting it put on, making sure your room is open for everything.
Lining the floor every time because my area changes all the time. I'm like, oh, I gotta. So, but all right, I gotta go, Biggie. I think my kid's yelling. I hear him.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, Rexer. This is a good discussion.
Thanks for having me. See you
Have
guys.
a good night.
We'll see you, Steps.
Talk to you later.
See you, man.
But yeah, so was just going to talk those Zen tables as well as just kind of finish up these AtGames slides that I had. Look like they have some December stuff coming here for us on the schedule, and that's what I was talking about. A Charlie Brown Christmas that came out this week. Looks like people are enjoying that table. Fishtails will be this coming Wednesday on the 11th. And then the following week is when you get the Sorcerer's Lair and the Wild West Rampage.
Nice.
If anyone's in the chat, you guys have played a Charlie Brown Christmas, let us know if you're liking it. Looks like saw a Chaotic in the chat. He looks like he was doing a stream, enjoying it. And I know when I was at Pinball Expo, the Peanuts table looked the best to me. Like the artwork just stood out the most to me.
It does look cool from the pictures anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it did look to be one of the best. Chaotic, I see his comments in the stream. I just again want to shout out Chaotic BPR because I know how passionate he is about AtGames products. We all know that I don't fall into that category, but like I feel his stream is just with much love, and I hopefully AtGames will treat him better going forward, and he could get fairness.
Yeah, because you were saying he's only got one referral link right now.
He's only allowed to refer Sea of Thieves, and then he said he quit, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think AtGames should talk to him. I think AtGames should work it out with Chaotic because he's a very passionate AtGames pinball player.
We need like a Chaotic discount code. That's what we need. Like give the guy a discount code. He's been promoting the crap out of AtGames for months. Even before the other, no offense to Dubs or Mike B or anything, but before they were getting into the Legends too much, he was right there the whole time. Like that was his thing. Like he jumped right into the AtGames and he's just loving every minute of it. So we need a discount code. We need a Chaotic discount code. That's what we need. Yeah,
definitely be tuned into him next week because I'm sure he'll be showing off Fishtails, which is going to be Wednesday. And I'm excited about this table. It's a full recreation of an original table, and I've always enjoyed those. Turn the animations off, turn the ball trails off, and it looks like you're playing the real thing. And this is a free table on Steam, on PS5, Xbox, all that. So if you haven't played it yet, you can play it for free.
It's fun to play it on the Switch too. I even got my kids playing FX on the Switch.
Oh yeah, and
Yeah.
I've played a lot of pinball on my Switch. I like how you can go into the vertical mode with it.
Yeah, that's cool, right?
And I saw at Pinball Expo, you can plug it into a TV, and you can turn your TV vertical and play it that way also.
Really?
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's
I
cool.
I have tables on my Series S, and they play really good. I've never had an issue. You know, I played the Peanuts table on there because, you know, I got the FOMO for the Peanuts table, so I just went ahead and played it on the Xbox and not spent $2,000.
That's what I've been doing. I've been buying them for Switch, PS5, Steam. I even play them on my AtGames Legends Ultimate with the pinball buttons. Just plug a PC into that, OTG, play them that way. So I know I'm going to enjoy the AtGames pinball when I get one. It's just I got to be responsible. You know, I can't run out and spend a bunch of money I don't have. And I got to make sure I got some money in the bank before I spend that much money on something. So it's been like a important decision for me. It's been one I have to think through, and I want to wait for the right timing. I'm always about the deals, and I really got a gut feeling that early next year the price is going to come down on the AtGames. I know, Steps, you said you think it's going to go up. What do you think?
I think PK's think it's going up next year. That's that. But again, PK or AtGames, I don't know who prices it. Always use FOMO tactics to get people to buy. That's pretty much proven with their operating model. So I don't know what to believe. You know, I'm just by what I saw somebody post. You know, that's what it is. It's going to go up apparently. So
can't go up that much though. What, a couple $100 if anything? I mean, I think everybody's kind of preparing for some kind of inflation to hit next year. I think that's what we're preparing for. I'm preparing for it too, but I'm hoping it doesn't happen. I'm hoping the price, as long as the price of wood doesn't go up, I think we're all going to be safe.
Yeah.
Well, all their stuff's made in China though too, and if there's tariffs on China, that's the issue, right?
Yeah.
Well, they'll have to keep more in their U.S. warehouse. I think that's going to, have to be their future, is to figure out warehouse space here in the United States, ship it directly from there. And then
that's so confusing. You could buy it shipped from here, or buy it shipped from here for more, or you buy it on this date or that date. It's a different price. I just keep it simple.
What do you guys think the skins are going to be they're going to come out with next year? Do you have any inclination or any ideas what you think it might be, or what you would want to see besides Killer Instinct and Battletoads?
I'd like to see Fishtails. I'd like to see Twilight Zone if they're going to use some of the licenses they already have.
Twilight Zone would be cool.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Everybody keeps asking for Back to the Future and Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
I think those would sell really well. There'd be people that it wasn't on their radar. They'd be like, "Oh my god, Back to the Future, Indiana Jones pinball," and get it. It would have been a good timing on the Indiana Jones. The Indiana Jones game just came out, but
yeah, I think they have something holding it up with Disney. I don't think they've got their Disney license worked out yet, because we haven't seen anything from them.
They got Disney games on their main arcade though.
Yeah,
do they? What they got?
They have like Aladdin and
Star
Lion
Wars
King and Star. Okay, there you go.
But I don't think the new ALU, the CE that just came out, has those Disney games.
Oh, so it must have expired.
Oh.
So
it'd
like
be
Tron
cool to see,
isn't
like,
even
a
on
Toy
there.
Story.
Yeah, Toy Story.
Yeah, Toy Story would be cool.
The Midway Mania.
Yeah, that'd be cool too. Biggie, do you have an Xbox?
I have an Xbox One. I haven't taken it out of the box in like 3 years though.
You should just plug it in and turn on Game Pass to try Indiana Jones this week, because it becomes free today.
Can you play it on Xbox One?
You should be able to just play it on Game Pass in general.
Oh, okay.
So even if you got Game Pass on your computer, you should be able to play through Game Pass on your computer. I believe it comes. Is tomorrow Monday? Today's Sunday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow it becomes free on Game Pass for everybody.
Is it good? Have you been playing it?
I have not played it yet. I'm really looking forward to playing it, but there's a YouTuber I follow who does like walkthroughs, and he did a 2-hour one on Thursday. He's called the Rad Brad, and he did a 2-hour of the first 2 hours of the game. I thought I felt like I was watching a movie. I watched the whole thing, and I've never once watched like a 2-hour stream like that. I watched the whole thing, and I felt like I was watching an Indiana Jones movie. He was playing it on PC, and it was gorgeous. Yeah, and it just looked like a lot of fun. The whip crack was so loud. and everything sounded like Indiana Jones. Like, I'm really looking forward to playing this tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw a video of it right before I got on stream where they were comparing it to the original movie. And it was like the cutscenes looked almost identical to the original.
Yeah, and the guy that did his voice is pretty close.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if they AI'd him a little bit or what, but he's pretty close to the original voice. And then Marcus from the movies, his character's in it, and the guy who's doing his voice is also pretty close to the movies too.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty
I'm
cool.
glad that game is getting good reviews and people are liking it because I love Indiana Jones, and I know they've been working on that one for a long time. And that's also the first one they've done with Bethesda, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's good that's working out.
Yeah, definitely is. I'm looking. Steps, are you going to play that tomorrow? Steps?
Can you hear us?
Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. I want to play it. I got the Game Pass. I got like 2 years of Game Pass, very cheap. I didn't know if you were talking to Big D or me or what was going on.
Sorry.
I'm kind of confused. I don't think I'll play it tomorrow, but I want to play it. I got so many games that I started playing. I'm playing Metaphor ReFantazio. I play a Dragon Quest 3 remake. I play a Dragon Quest 11 still. I'm like, at some point I gotta finish a freaking game.
I know what you mean. Like you collect all these games. It's hard to get through them. Like I've been playing Red Dead Redemption. I'm like 50, 60 hours into that game. And it's like, where do you get the time to play anything else? I still have Spider-Man 2 I got on Black Friday. Haven't even opened it. A couple weeks before that, I got Resident Evil 2 remake. Or no, Resident Evil 4 remake. I haven't even opened that yet. It's like, I don't even have time to open them right now.
I started Silent Hill remake, and I'm like, 20, 30 minutes into it. And then I went over to, what did I move over to? I'm trying to think. I think I moved over to the Star Wars Outlaws DLC, and then I got sidetracked with something else, and now I just started Black Ops 6 last night, and then I'm going to start Indiana Jones tomorrow. So I'm all over games right now. The last game I finished was Outlaws, but I'm all over the place with games right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of good games coming out, and we'll have plenty to play for the rest of next year. Plus anything new that's going to come next year. So
I highly, highly, highly recommend Metaphor ReFantazio. That game
it's on the list.
That game is
what is it?
It's Metaphor ReFantazio. It's on Xbox, PS5. It's an Atlas game. It's made by the people that made Persona. I never played Persona because it was about a high school kid, so I didn't think I could get into it. But then I played Metaphor ReFantazio, and I oh man, it's just so well done. And it's done in like an anime style, and it's a JRPG. The turn-based combat is very unique in this game. It's a very amazing. Like you could go back or forwards in your attacks and like move your party different places. And there's so many cool ways to attack in it, and the storyline is really good. And it's 100 hours though. That's the freaking problem. I was like, I wish people would just make a 20, maybe a 40-hour game. Because some of us people that are older and have to work and do other things, we don't exactly have 100 hours. You know what I mean? Like this old NES remake is only like 30, 40 hours, which is like great. Sounds good. You know?
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
And you just got a Switch OLED a couple months ago. How are you liking it?
Well, the reason why I got this, which is right here, was because I traded in that light because I couldn't stand it. I was like, I couldn't deal with it, and I got it for like $170. I traded the light and got that for $170. And to be honest with you, even like with other struggles I've had, it's been worth it. I wouldn't sell it. Like I would do whatever I can to keep that for sure. It's probably my most played thing that I have right now. Then probably the iArcade, and then probably the Xbox. To be quite honest, you
never stream your iArcade. You'll stream the Switch.
Did you watch my Street Fighter 1 video, my Fighting Street video I did at all?
I feel bad. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, it's a really good video. It tells the story of how I first encountered Street Fighter 1, and it's a good video, so watch it. But I filmed the whole thing on my iArcade.
Oh,
that doesn't mean people know that I filmed it on my iArcade.
That makes me want to go watch it now. Yeah, I streamed all my arcades last night. Just did like almost a 4-hour live stream, and I ended it with the iArcade. I think you were watching Steps. But I plug in my Send in Light Gun, plug and play with Glenn's new deck. It has the USB ports on the front. Just plug it in there. I was playing Revolution X. That's a
I saw that.
badass game.
I was
love
like,
love that
copyright
game.
strike.
yeah.
That's
And
such
then,
a good game, though.
I've got a bunch of shooters on there. Some work better than others. Like I've got Jurassic Park shooter. It doesn't seem to work very good. But like Revolution X is perfect. Don't have any issues with it.
That's
Yeah.
such a fun game too. Throwing the CDs or your grenades, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there may be a configuration issue with some of the shooters I have. Like I
Well,
need
what
to,
kind of
like a new
issues-
config file or something.
What kind of issue are you having?
Like the sensor, like it doesn't sense the crosshairs where it should be on Jurassic Park. It just kind of goes all over the screen.
Oh, can you plug in a keyboard?
Yeah, I could do that.
Plug in a keyboard. I don't know if you can do this on the iArcade or not, but because Glenn should be running either arcade or Batacera, if you're running the emulation on it, so you should be able to go into the menu screen, press Tab on a keyboard, and then it'll bring up the main menus, and then you can go to, I believe it's the analog controls and sensitivity down. You have an X and Y sensitivity. Just turn it down, because that was a like Terminator 2 and Revolution X. It is a I can't think of the name of it. It wasn't a light gun. It was the gun. It was like a turret gun, right? So you just need to turn the sensitivity down on it. Turn it down to about 20. It'll probably be really high. Turn it down to about 25.
So
on X-
Alien 3, the gun, it works perfect too.
Okay,
Was that a turret gun on that arcade? Can you remember?
I believe that one was too. But
Okay.
when I had a Pi and was doing the Pi mod, specifically Jurassic, even on Batacera, specifically Jurassic Park, I always have to turn the sensitivity down on it.
So I use the mystery encoder mod. I just put the mystery encoder chip thing on the board, and that's how I modded it. I
Okay.
always plug it into the computer to sideload the games onto it using that mystery encoder application they built. Could I still plug the keyboard directly into the iArcade and get to that menu?
Give it a try. I'm not exactly too sure what Mystery Coder is using for emulation, but it is a MAME game, so he's got to have some kind of MAME system in there, even if it's RetroArch.
Yeah.
You would still be able to hit the menu, even if it's running RetroArch to run those games too. So just plug it in, try Tab. If Tab doesn't work, maybe hit up Mystery Encoder to see how you can get into the menu. Or I
need
even
to
ask them
join
for you, too.
Discord because they say they do all that on Discord, and I've never been on Discord. Never even installed it. So that'll be something I have to do.
I always make the joke that Discord is just AOL chat rooms for grown men, because there's just nothing but grown men inside there.
Well, you guys are talking about having limited time to play video games. I just feel like I'm going to have even more limited time if I'm on Discord, because it's going to be like a whole nother thing that's, I spent hours in talking to people. So
there's a lot of chats. Yeah. I'm in the Arcades Anonymous one. That's like the main one I kind of like stick in. And I check it sometimes I'm in there for like every day for like a week, and then I don't check it for like 3-4 weeks at a time. And I'm like, I don't feel like I missed a lot of stuff, but then I have like messages that I haven't seen, and I'm like, God, I'm never in here. Like, just DM me on Facebook.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Just go in every once in a while, catch up with people, turn it off for a little while, because I try to limit my social media, and that's a good way to do it. Just don't even log in.
How are your wrists doing since the injury?
Oh, good.
Better?
Yeah, they're good. The right one's like perfect. The left one's still a little sore some days. Some days are better than others, but I have full movement in my wrist.
How'd you break
And
them?
I'm lifting weights now. And just recently in the last couple of weeks, I'm doing push-ups again.
Nice.
So, I'm getting back to normal. And I've had wrist injuries before. I know it takes time for the pain to go away sometimes. So my left one, it may, take a year, but it'll eventually the pain will go away.
Yeah, but this was the first time you hit two at once.
Oh yeah, definitely the first time I've had two at once.
How'd that happen?
Riding an e-bike, electric bicycle, and I ride it all the time. But this day I was riding it late at night through a parking lot, no lighting in the parking lot, and I was cutting through there to like save time. And there was like a curb in front of me, and my headlight could see 3 or 4 feet in front of me. So I didn't really see it in time until like the last second. And I'll normally just hop the curb. Well, when I hopped it on the other side, there was like a 4-foot drop off. So my front tire just went way too far down and I flew over the front of the handlebars and I put my hands out in front of me. And they teach you, or you're supposed to know, if you're like a pro BMX guy, you don't do that. You roll and hit your shoulder or your back. But it went so quick, I didn't do it
It's
right.
instinct to just do that.
Yeah. So it took the brunt of my fall. And I went to the hospital that night and they said I broke both my wrists, but they weren't like a real bad break. It wasn't like my bone cracked or anything like that. It was, they call it a abrasion or a avulsion fracture. It's where like the tendon on your wrist comes off of the bone and it takes a little bone with it when it does it.
Ooh.
So yeah, it wasn't like a bad fracture, but didn't need surgery or anything. Did not need surgery. So
That's
I
a
was lucky.
plus.
Yeah.
That's a plus.
But yeah, I lost my job. I got let go from my job. And then a week later, I break both my wrists. And that's why I went off YouTube for like 2 months. I wasn't doing anything because I was like, I got to focus on my money. I got to focus on my health.
You weren't really on Facebook or anything either. You were quiet for a while.
Yeah, I was off of everything, YouTube and social media, all that stuff for like 2 months straight, just focusing on what I needed to do. It came through my head I should start a GoFundMe, but in that scenario, I may have been, that may have been justified to do it. That would be a good reason.
Lost your job and you're suffering from an injury. Absolutely. That would be a way to do a GoFundMe right there. Not for certain other reasons that we were talking about tonight.
Right. And that's why I think it really didn't set well with me when I saw this. Cause I was like, if anybody should be doing GoFundMes, I mean, I could have done one, it's like, I chose not to cause I wanted to handle this like a man, do it on my own. I don't feel like I should be asking people for money.
I don't have a problem if he had a GoFundMe for his rent, but the fact of the matter is, like, he kept the AtGames Pinball, and then he continued to make more streams with more product on top of that pinball. When I heard him on the stream say before he couldn't afford the SSF kit, he'd have to wait, And so at that point I was like, no, this guy's gonna keep doing this, and I don't hate the man or Katie or any of that. I wish the best for them. I hope they get their crap together. I just wish that they could, see the light at the end of the tunnel and learn from this and do what they need to do.
I just wish they would be good, honest people. That's all I want.
I get it if you gave them money, but I get it if you're mad now.
If we would have started seeing their one-up starting to disappear in the back, we kind of would have caught on in the streams, right? Mm-hmm. And he might have mentioned he would have brought something up too if we started seeing a bunch of them going. That they fell on some financial hard times, so they're selling these to bring some money back in, And if what they did is supposed to be like the very, very last resort, and it's not. They didn't use it as the very, very last resort.
What he said in
you're taking advantage
in his stream with you was the icing on the cake. You know what I mean? Because it was like you said he should sell these things. He said, "Oh, we are," and then somebody said he had 2 listed. I don't know. I don't look. I don't. It's not worth my time to look at what he's selling or call his work. I think it's wrong to call people's work. I really do.
I do too.
I would never do that. Me personally.
Well, I think a goal of his too was to have people talking about him, have people watching him. Like his stream today was really created in response to us gonna be talking about this tonight, and it's like it just creates more content for him. And
it's gonna get him more money anyway. That's why I said this is the last time I'm talking about it. But I just want people to say, hey, why don't we go do something more positive, or why don't we try to help rather than just keep the problem going? It's like the student loan crisis. We're gonna bail the student loans out. That's fine, but then we're never going to change the educational system. We're going to continue to give people student loans. That's dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you have a problem, let's fix it, but let's fix the problem from happening again.
So it's holiday season right now. I don't know if you guys know or not, but I was trying to campaign for Arcades Anonymous for their YouTube channel.
Oh yeah.
To get them to 500 subs. They
That's
got to
awesome
500
what you're
subs.
doing.
They got, and I'm happy to help those guys. Those guys are awesome. We all know them. Right, we've hung out with them plenty of times, and we've talked to them so much. And their channel their subs are super low. So, You know, if anybody in the chat here isn't sub to Arcades Anonymous, go sub to them. I'm helping them do a giveaway too, and there's other people doing giveaways also.
Mhm.
GI Joel's giving away a riser. Todd told me who the other ones were, and I'm sorry, I can't remember.
I'm going to donate some Steam Zen pinball codes to
Yes,
him to give
yes,
away.
yes. He
Yeah.
mentioned that. Okay, that you're giving away some codes. I got the PS5 up there. So for anybody watching, if you're not a sub of Arcades Anonymous, we're all campaigning to try to get them subs. We got them over 500. We kind of just want to get them as many as we can by the end of the month, December 31st. And then the plan is that first Wednesday of January, which I think is the 2nd, or it's New Year's Day, one or the other. They're going to go live, and we're going to do the giveaways that night. So we got them to 500 subs. Let's see how many we can get them by the end of the month. If you want to try to win a PS5, if you want to try to win some Steam codes, if you want to try to win a riser from GI Joel, plus a few other things, give it a shot. I might even have another giveaway I'm going to do separately on my channel, just a giveaway. No, you don't have to sub to me or anything. I got the Reapers coming in, so I was going to give away my retro shooters and give it away with a PC with it too. And I'm just waiting for the PC to come in before I do an announcement for that. And there's no I'm not gonna be like, you don't have to sub to me or anything. Like just watch the stream when I'm going to do the stream, and you got to be in the stream in order to enter. And we're going to do one of the hashtags like Rascal does. So yeah, it's the season to give back, you know.
Yeah, I just put the link in there for Arcades Anonymous, guys. Definitely go subscribe. They're already over 500, so they're going to be giving away the PS5 with NBA 2K5 in there for free, and then there'll be many other prizes. But go support them and be a part of that giveaway. I think it's in a few weeks they're going to do it.
Yeah, they're going to do it the first Wednesday of the month, or first Wednesday in January.
Oh, so the first, January 1st.
Is that January 1st?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, there you go.
So you can spend New Year's with Arcades Anonymous, and big giveaway that day.
Exactly.
I support that channel. I've been on that channel. I've been gone from a lot of streams lately because I've been working till like 11 o'clock at night, so I'm not really there. So I'm sorry about that. I just want to let people know that I'm just working late, and that's just what it is. I saw Thor KC say, "Why don't we not tell other people how to do their financing?" We don't want to. It's not that. It's the guy was open about his financing. It's the guy did what he did. He opened up a brand new pinball, then opened up an SSF kit the next day, then asked for rent money.
I think today was more about us explaining who we are as people and what we find, as our values as people. And they just didn't align with the Cornercade. And that's more of our discussion, not to bash him or to do that. It was more so to just get out there that we personally don't agree with what we were seeing. And that should be okay. That we're on a YouTube channel for a reason, and that's to speak our mind and to say how we feel.
I generally want to try to help people. That's why I originally donated to it. I just, at some point, there was a breaking point for me personally, and I think that we should try to help in other ways. That's it.
Yeah, hopefully something good will come out of this. I definitely think it will. I've seen a lot of support for us as a community to not, agree with this and to not encourage this type of behavior. And I just hope it takes off and more people speak their mind. And hopefully we see some change from this and some good things from it.
I hope so too. I really do, Biggie. You couldn't have said that any better, man.
Well, thanks, guys. This has been a lot of fun. Definitely Retro Lizard. I'm going to have you on the show as a special guest one day where we just talk arcades, pinball, console gaming, all that. I'd love to have you on one night.
Dude, I'll come on anytime. We're friends on Facebook. Just shoot me a message and be like, hey, you're free this night? I'll come on anytime, man. I'll hang out. I love talking to you guys.
Nice.
So I like talking to you guys. I like talking to video games. I'll come on, man.
Heck yeah. And Steps, too bad we had to spend a lot of the night talking about this one subject. We'll have to do another show again soon and just talk whatever console gaming arcades that we can fit into the show.
Will do, because I'm moving on to a new topic, I decided.
Well, you guys have anything you want to share with the audience? Let them know about your channels before we call it a night.
Steps?
Well, Steps Gaming. I've been trying to do more gaming content and less arcade content, mainly because, I don't have money to be buying a bunch of arcades. Although I do arcade content sometimes, and I do love the arcades I do have. Been getting into a lot of RPGs, Mario Kart, still fighting games. I seem to do the best with fighting game content. So it is what it is. If you don't know where to find me, it's Steps Gaming, all one word. It's StepsGaming at Steps Gaming.
Nice. And Retro Lizard, what do you got coming up?
Well, guys, I'm Retro Lizard's Custom Arcades. That's the YouTube channel, Retro Lizard for short. Just go to Google, type it in. Everything will come up between social medias, TikToks, everything. Coming up, I build arcades for a living now. Thanks to you people in the community, I was able to take my arcade business full time. So a big thank you to the community for helping support my small business and allowing me to do that. I'm in Guitar Hero hell right now. For every arcade I build, I have to build an arcade with it. But I am working on a dual stick arcade, twin stick arcade. I've seen a lot of people. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people asking about Robotron, specifically Stock Jock. Seen him asking about that a lot, and I have the idea for it. I've been working on the design, and then something else I've been working on, which I just started today. I have always had the idea for arcade room decor too, because I have a CNC machine. So I just cut up. This is gonna sound so random. A clock. So I just cut up a clock with the Mortal Kombat symbol inside it.
Oh, nice.
And I threw some epoxy in it, and I'm waiting for the epoxy to dry right now. So I should have a video on that or a few pictures of that later during the week of that project. And I have an idea to sell them. So that could be some fun stuff. I also did a Galaga design last night, and then I think that will come out pretty good. So, we'll see how Mortal Kombat comes out first, and I'll post some pictures of it up on my Facebook and get some ideas. But
you might be onto something.
I might be onto something there, right? Everybody likes clocks. Everybody needs a clock, right? And arcade.
I remember PD7. He bought his clock. What was it? It was Batman or something like that. No, it was Mario. I can't remember what it was, but he bought a clock on one of his walk and talks. And we have an appreciation for gaming clocks in this community.
Yeah. So like some cool arcade looking clocks with the logos on it or whatnot. Like I want to try to find. I was looking for Kilgore from Killer Instinct. But I got to find vector files or a file that I can turn into a vector file so that I can carve it up on the CNC. But I got some ideas out there. I actually threw Shotgun Sean a few pictures of the Mortal Kombat. Biggie, I'll throw the two of you. I'll show you guys some pictures too through Facebook Messenger of the Mortal Kombat clock. See what you guys think of it. I think it looks pretty cool. I'm really curious to see what it's going to look like when I'm done with the epoxy on it. And it's the first time I ever used epoxy. What a mess I made. I made a mess.
Any wall decor, I love these light up marquees that Arcade 1-Up put out. I'd love to see some more of that stuff you can buy.
Yeah, those are super
anything
cool.
you can put on the wall in your arcade, people are going to want that stuff.
Absolutely. And I run so many arcades on the CNC machine all the time. Sometimes it's fun to do something just different, and I thought that would be pretty different to do that also. So, but yeah, that's pretty much what I got going on. I'm busy, and I appreciate the support from the community and everything else. And Biggie, thanks for inviting me on, man.
Yeah, this has
really
been
cool
great.
To come on.
I think we got a lot done tonight, a lot accomplished in our discussion, and also it's good to get everybody else's input as well in discussion in the chat. I did want to give a shout out to Papa Brad because he came on the show last week. Looks like he's going to be live right after this, so definitely go check him out. And support each other and treat each other good. And we'll see everyone in the next one. We'll be on live next Sunday night with a new guest. And I'll see everyone soon. Talk to y'all later.
Thanks. Good night, guys.
Bye.